We can use that dropping the height in to find an expression to help us solve the sides and angles of a triangle. So I'm going to do the same thing we did in the first page. I'm going to drop in my height. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say h equals, I'm going to do the sine of angle A. In fact, I think I'll back it up a second. I'll write the sine of angle A equals h over c, or h equals c times the sine of A. I'll do the same thing for angle C. I'll say, okay, the sine of angle C equals h over A. So h equals A sine C. In other words, since they're both h, I can use substitution. Instead of writing h, I'm going to say c sine A equals A sine C. Now we'll do a little algebra. Let's get all my c's on one side and all my a's on the other side. So what I'll do is I'll divide both sides by c to start with. So then I get the sine of angle A equals A times the sine of C all over C. Then I'll divide both sides by A. So then I get the sine of angle A over A equals the sine of angle C over C. And once again, if I would draw in my altitude from side C, I would get the same thing. When I did that, I'd say the sine of angle B would be h over A, for example. So in other words, using that pattern, we could say the sine of angle B over side B. This is called the law of sines. We can use the law of sines when it's not a right triangle. You can use the law of sines when it is a right triangle, but one of your angles is going to be 90 degrees. Also note, we can do the reciprocal. You can see it written as the sine of angle A over A, or I can write it as A over the sine of angle A equals B over the sine of angle B equals C over the sine of angle C. We're going to use that to solve our problems. It doesn't matter what pair we're going to use. The important thing is we're only going to use two at a time because we have three equations, but usually only two at a time. Remember, from what we did back in the beginning of the unit, the name of the side is opposite the angle. So side B is opposite angle B, side C is opposite angle C, side A is opposite angle A. That's what you're going to do when you solve these problems.